I'm Sydney Goodman, and I'm so excited for you to be joining us. A little while ago, we premiered the trailer for Metal Hellsinger, and oh my gosh, was it amazing. And here to talk more about this exclusive reveal is none other than David Goldfarb. So, David, let's dive in. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here with us, all the way from Sweden. So, we just saw your trailer. We just saw your trailer for the very first time. Let's just dive in because that looks like something I have never seen before. So it is a rhythm shooter. Can you tell us about that?
Should I tell you about the origin of it, or should I tell you about the? I mean, like the idea is that I think when I was thinking about it originally, it was something. There's sort of the Zen state that you get into when you're playing rhythm games, and you get into them also with first-person shooters. And then at some point, I was thinking it would be cool if I could do both. And then, especially if it had music that I loved involved, I felt like those three things would work, and therefore we wound up improbably making this crazy thing. So that's.
So it's a labor of love. It brings the two things that you love together into one.
That is true, yeah. You're doing a lot of... I'm just looking at the game now.
So let's start with, what exactly are we watching right now? Like, is it a rhythm? I feel like a lot of rhythm games, you choose the song that you want to play and then you play it, right? It's very, like, stagnant. Can we expect that there's going to be a through line? Is there a story?
Yeah, so... It's unlike, I think there are games that typically do this and they are static, as you point out, you have like a static track that you're trying to play against. And we tried that and it wasn't fun. And we're like a shooter, we've made a lot of shooters internally, at the people at the studio. And so knowing that, we wound up making a shooter that has these rhythm components rather than a thing where you're on rails and you're trying to do things to that essentially like limit your agency as a player. So for us, it was more important to make it feel like organic and dynamic than it was to have you follow like the static song, and that the music is also a huge part of this. So the music here is dependent on kind of your performance. So like right now you're at 16x, you can see it right there. So like the vocals are actually playing. If you drop down, like layers of the music begin to drop out. So, like for me, or for a lot of people, like who want to hear the music all the time, you want to, both for scoring purposes and for just like hear the music that you really dig. You want to keep it at 16. You want to keep the multiplier as high as possible to get all that stuff.
Wow, wait, that's such an interesting component, because I feel like I completely agree. You almost are motivated not just to kill the enemies, but also because you want to hear the full track sort of a thing. So let's talk about the scoring a little bit. How does the scoring work exactly?
Well, I mean, right now, this is like a super early build, so actually we had to disable like a whole bunch of scoring stuff. So, but like in principle, like there's a whole bunch of criteria that we're evaluating, like you keeping the beat, like you see right there, using paths to kind of keep the beat up. So everything that you do, every action that you take, like shooting the enemy or you see yourself hitting him on the beat there, killing him on the beat, or any number of other actions, all those things give you score, and the score is multiplied by the thing that you see up there. That's a sort of multiplier, and there are any number of things that kind of give you score in the course of the game. And then at the end of the level, there are a number of other criteria that are applied, and those things collectively give you like your actual score.
Gotcha. So are you progressing through the level once you hit a certain number? So like we just saw 900,000. So once you pass 900,000, let's just say, does a higher level enemy appear, or are you just trying to get the highest score possible as you go throughout the level?
You're trying to get the highest score for the leaderboards and also to earn souls, which is I probably won't talk about right now. But those things are a point of progression and persistence things give you access to other, whether it's upgrades or other things. later in the campaign. And there is, but the thing you asked originally, is there like a story? The answer is yes. So we can talk about that, or I can avoid it.
Yeah, no, I would love to dive into the story if you're willing to tell us about it. I mean, it takes place in hell, as we saw in the trailer.
I can talk a little about it because I think the marketing will kill me if I reveal too much. But what I can say is that you're playing this character, the Unknown, and she is the sort of or she's the one who is there to, in theory, overturn the order of the Hells and replace order with chaos. At least that's the sort of broad setup. And there's this ruler that's sort of the Red Judge, who's I don't know if we've seen them. Maybe we will later. And they're the antagonist. They're the immovable object to your irresistible force. And so that's kind of like the two of you are sort of opposed to one another, and are eventually going to come into mortal conflict. And so so that's the setup. And you travel through all these different hells, and things will happen. And there is hopefully something like a story that's super metal that people will enjoy along the way.
Okay, so we're like slowly running out of time, and I feel like I have so many questions because this game is so intriguing to me. So let me start with, you stopped yourself from saying antagonist, and I know that a lot of your games in the past, or in a lot of interviews, you've talked about kind of this idea of perspective and offering a player the perspective of what might traditionally be the bad guy. Does this game kind of explore that philosophy?
Yep. I mean, in as much as it can in this context, I think none of the things that I like, I think, are not present. So just in the way that you're playing this character who looks a certain way and seems to be doing a certain thing, and the enemy that you're fighting looks a certain way and seems to be doing a certain thing. And the Paz, the skull, same thing. All those things, I think, I would hope that my particular things that I care about are also present there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Most evasive answer. Most evasive answer I can possibly give.
So this question is solely for me, but we have to end the interview really quickly, so I'm going to ask it super fast. But is the person that we're watching in that in the footage that we just watched, are they just really good at the game, or does the music tailor to your shooting abilities so that you're on beat?
They are really good.
Got it.
They are
okay, cool.
Good.
So that's definitely vibing.
Yeah, that person is super good. Like, if you play, probably not going to be that good, and not at the start. In fact, I remember I told the person who was doing it, like, Jesus, all right, well, you're really good. So yeah, calm down. There's definitely, yeah, it's cool though.
Alrighty. Well, David, thank you so much for talking to us. Before we go, do you have any information that you can give us on when we can expect to play this game and maybe what platforms it's coming to?
I think we can say that it's coming to PC and next gen and to current gen, and it's coming in 2021.
Thank you so much. We definitely look forward to hearing more about Metal Hellsinger in the future.